Well, I think if you're going to become a franchisee and you're going into business, it's probably the biggest decision you'll make in your life, because you're going to put your life savings in and you're going to go into that full time. You're probably going to resign from your business. So this is very, very important. So when you go and look for a franchise, the first thing you've got to make sure is that you're getting a viable business that's been tried and tested. So you've got to go to the franchisor and make sure that he's done his homework, his business is working, and he's done all the documentation. He's got a operations manual, the franchise agreement, and you've got to then start asking him questions. The first one, which is by far the most important, what will my return on investment be? Now, a good return on investment is that you should get a 3-year payback. So in other words, if the franchise costs you R1 million, you can draw a market-related salary, only a market-related salary. You should get that R1 million back in 3 years. So the first thing, and this is because it's all about business, am I going to get that return on investment? And then you've got to make sure that it's in a growing category, because you want to make sure that this is going to be 5-10 years, and therefore I wouldn't go into a category like a CD store. I'd rather go into a product like H2O, which is going to have long-term growth, and it's really going to be a necessity. So even in the bad economy, people are going to need to have pure water. So that's much better than a product like a CD, which is going out of fashion. Then you've got to ask him, what is the support structure? How are you going to support me? In other words, if I'm going through hard times, what will you do to make sure I do well? And then what you do once you sign up, and you've got to be very careful, because franchisors that are not viable will be hard sell. So if a franchisor says to you, there's 3 other people waiting for that area, you better sign today, run away. Because what you've got to do, you've got to award a franchise and not sell a franchise. What you can expect from that franchisor, he's going to take you through the full process. Firstly, he's going to help you find a site, and hopefully he's going to do good site evaluation. Then he's going to actually help you to build the store and construct the store. He's going to help you employ staff, and he's going to train you and your staff. And then he's going to do the local marketing to launch your product. And then you must make sure that once you're up and going, he will support you on an ongoing program. I think one of the problems in franchising is that the mechanism is fantastic, but there's no legislation. So there are people that are ripping franchisees off. And I think you've really got to do your homework carefully and find that you've got a reputable company and that you've bought into a business that has got long-term ability, that is going to run well. So if you bought into and didn't do the homework and you don't work hard, the chances are that you are going to lose your money and you're going to be risked. But let's take a brand like Kentucky. They've been in the country something like 40 years. They've got 700 stores. And to my knowledge, they've never closed a store. So if you pick the winners and you work hard, I think your chance of failure is very, very minimal. If you want to be a franchisee and go into your own business, there's certain things that you've got to test. In other words, some people, like Richard Branson, would be a terrible franchisee, because when you go into a franchise, you've got to follow rules. In other words, they're going to give you the recipe and you bake the cake, and you can't do things your own way. So we have a concept called an E-test. It's a psychometric test, and maybe it's not a bad idea to do that to see that you're going to be happy following rules. Secondly, when you go into business, there's risk. Now, not everybody enjoys risk. So you're going to have to take that risk, and you're going to be prepared to get your whole family involved, because they must understand that you've signed over your house, your life savings, and then you've got to work hard. Because when you go into that business, you've got to be an owner-operator, and maybe you've got to give up the weekend golf and all the pleasures, because probably for the first year or two, you're going to work 24/7. So are you prepared to really get stuck in and put that effort in? Because with that effort comes huge reward. Because if you work for a boss and you work for 40 years, you're only going to get 480 paychecks. And maybe if you go into your own business, you're going to make yourself financially secure one day. The kind of questions you've got to really ask him, and you've got to feel him out, is he going to be there for a long term? Does he see this business? Because very many businesses start and the franchisor then sells out, and you end up with a new franchisor that is not quite the person that you put your faith and trust in. So you're going to want to know from this person that he sees this as a long-term business, and ask him, where do you see this business in 5 years' time? What are you trying to do with the business? Now, a good franchisor will help you develop a business plan, and he will have a business plan to take the brand further, because it's no good getting into a business that doesn't grow. In other words, if you were Kentucky one day, they started with 1 store and today they've got 600-700 stores. And that's the type of franchisor that you want. Apart from everything I've been saying, there is a legal side to it. So a franchisor needs 3 documents. They need an operations manual, they need a franchise agreement, and then they need something that we call a disclosure document. Now, that document is all about the business, and it's there to protect you. So in the document, they have to say that they're not in any litigation. There needs to be a letter from the accountant to say that it's a going business. And you've got to ask him for that disclosure document and go through it very carefully. Now, a disclosure document needs to be updated every year. So you need to ask the franchisor, when last was that disclosure document updated? And ask him, has anything materially changed since you updated that disclosure document? In doing your homework, it's very, very important that you go and talk to the other franchisees in the group. Now, in the disclosure document will be a list of all the franchisees and their contact numbers. Now, my advice is don't phone them, because if you phone them, they'll think it's someone from head office trying to do a mystery shopper. Go and take them for a cup of coffee and speak to them and say, look, if you had your time over again, would you in fact buy the franchise from this group? And are they delivering all the services that they promised you when you started off as a franchisee? Now, in the disclosure document too, they have to mention any outlets that have actually closed in the last period. So you can try and find out why they closed, if they have closed. Hopefully they haven't closed too many, but you can probe why that outlet actually closed down. You're probably asking yourself, what is my risk of failure and how do I know that I'm going to be successful in this project? I think you've got to do your homework, and the more you prepare and the more you do business plans, the less your chances of failure. But any business is open to failure. There's no foolproof business, and you've got to actually make sure that you've really researched everything, you've done your homework properly, and then when you go into the business, it's all over to you. So if you're lazy and you don't get up in the morning and you don't work hard, the chances of you failing is high. So you've got to put your head down and make things happen. It's really your business, you've got to make it happen. Bear in mind that as an entrepreneur, you're going to find it a little bit difficult in the beginning to follow all the rules. But the reason you buy a franchise is because you're buying into a system that has worked for many, many years. So it would be silly to buy a franchise and then not follow the rules. So the rules are all in the operations manual. And as a franchisor, you make sure that the franchisees are trained to that manual, operate to that manual. And if you're not going to follow those rules, don't become a franchisee, because then you must go and do your own thing and become a franchisor. When you buy into a franchise, you actually become a team. And you must never say them and us, it's we. And every successful brand uses the franchisee and the franchisor. And communication is key, both upward and downward. So a good franchisor will communicate very clearly with you and tell you exactly what's going on, so you don't get a surprise one day when you see a promotion advertised in the newspaper, but you are the person that interacts with the customers, and you must give good upward feedback. You're the one that is learning a lot about the brand, you're seeing what's happening, and a franchisor would respect you if you give good positive feedback.